It seems like it's going to be a very good time for animation to make the jump to live action, though.
Yeah.
As Josh's favorite series of all time, How to Train Your Dragon, is getting the live action treatment. Now, I've already seen some people getting very, very nervous about this. I am not one of those people, actually. I think this is a good idea, and here's why. I think this will translate a whole lot better to live action than like a Kung Fu Panda or a Shrek,
Hmm.
because oh dear God, I do not need Shrek in live action form. Um, Whereas How to Train Your Dragon, I think some of the charm and the wonder of the series could translate into live action form. But what makes me just go, okay, that's a good thing. Is the original trilogy director is coming back for these live action movies, and make no mistake, they've just said one for now, but they'll
Yeah.
make them all. Um, if the same guy is coming back, it does kind of beg the question of why are you turning it into live action form besides, money and the theme park is opening in a few years.
Yeah.
But as the reigning How to Train Your Dragon expert, leader of the fan club slash whatever, scaly,
Yeah.
whatever you want to put here with this, Josh, How to Train Your Dragon, your most beloved of franchises, is getting a live action remake slash reboot.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I'm I'm very uncertain about it, honestly. Because I love the movies a lot. I don't know if necessarily bringing them into live action is gonna be more interesting. I'm not 100%. I think it could benefit in that they will have the ability to kind of tweak the original story a little bit, make it a little bit, not that there's really any flaws in the first one, but it could. I'm always open to like having like narratives shift a little bit to make it hit harder or what have you. I think it definitely much in the way that The Last of Us is benefiting. The series is all three movies is written, so they know where they're going now. You can leave hints going along as to future events. That that little flashback of in two when the cloud jumper kidnaps his Hiccup's mom, you can put that in the first movie now because that exists now. It could be interesting to say the least. I just don't know. I'm hesitant. I like that the original director's coming back, but I don't know if it's needed. But I agree with you though. I think of the DreamWorks productions movies that they've made so far, I think this is probably the easiest, less horrifying
What?
one to do.
You mean you don't want a Shark Tale live action with those terrifying
Sheesh.
faces and just a slap happy Will Smith fish? Um, Also, looking at the cast of Shark Tale, how did you get so many famous people for such a mediocre movie? I do not understand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm I think this is a cool idea. My hope though is the first movie can follow the similar story beats of the original movie, but then after that, we kind of just expand the universe more and maybe
Yeah.
not follow the trilogy beat for beat, but check in on other parts of the world because is it they have at least one. I thought they had like multiple spin-off shows on Netflix and whatnot. So
It's like one or two.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if they're hoping that this live action one makes decent money, but then they could also spin that and do side stories. And I think you could very
Yeah.
easily do that. The world of How to Train Your Dragon is very imaginative, visually beautiful. Um, but make no mistake, this is also a synergy move of which would you rather which would you rather meet, an animated or a live action version when you go to Epic Universe opening in summer of 2025? Which I mean, notice that this movie, this live action version of How to Train Your Dragon, just happens to come out in the year 2025. I'm going,
Yeah. Yeah.
that branding, y'all better hope this movie's good, just like y'all are really hoping that Mario is good. And I have no doubt that Mario will be. And I think that was also a synergy move. I think this could be really, really interesting. I kind of hope Gerard Butler comes back as the dad in
Oh
live
yeah,
action form, because he could totally pull that off. Um, yeah, I can't even begin to think about casting for this. Um,
yeah,
it's just it's I don't want to say it's easier to cast for an animated stuff, but it might be just because you're not seeing their face, you're not seeing their physical
yeah.
presentation. Um, I haven't seen him in anything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if he's still alive, but um, you know who would be really good for any of these movies? I can't remember specifically what I think he'd be good in. Is that guy from Muppet Treasure Island, Jim? It was like Billy Connolly. Yeah, have
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry, my brain went straight to Treasure Planet or whatever, and I was like,
of
"That's
course it
Martin
did.
Short. What are you talking? What are you talking about?"
Billy.
Yeah,
Oh,
it could be interesting.
Billy Connolly
I
is still alive, but he is 80.
Oh yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I am hesitant. So the also like something to keep in mind, the fact that it's coming out in 2005. Most animated movies
2025.
what did I
2005.
did I say 200? Yeah, same thing.
It comes out in 2005. It predates even the original
Um,
animated movie.
but like animated movies take like 4 or 5 years to make. So like this has been in the works for a long time. Like I have no doubt that we'll get a trailer by the end of the year, honestly. Like at least a teaser or some images by the end of the year because it's been in production for so long.
And I think this is like the first. I think this could be the first wave of DreamWorks kind of either rebooting or revitalizing some of their more popular franchises. We have heard rumblings of rebooted Shrek or a continuation of Shrek forever, even before Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. We heard that either it was Shrek 5 or a rebooted version of Shrek, to the point of we totally have not seen, in massive air quotes, we totally have not seen the leaked looks of what the new Shrek will look like at all that has been floating around various Universal social media accounts. Not at all. So they clearly have plans to revitalize certain things. You got Kung Fu Panda 4 on the horizon. So excited for that.
So stoked.
So not Universal. I mean, Universal does own DreamWorks. They're not planning on slowing down anytime soon, and they might just be looking for new ways to tell the stories. I think they're just like, How to Train Your Dragon ended in such a perfect way in the animated form. We think it could translate well to live action form, and I kind of hope that's what it is, but it also could just be money, as you know.
Yeah.
Their contemporaries down the street also are very much looking into the money side of things.
Yeah, and I think if anything, we do need more live action fantasy type films. And so like for that aspect, like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. Why not?